Hello and welcome to the Walking Talking topic on histograms question number 4 with me, Mr. Barton. Now you need a free magnifying glass to zoom in to this one. God knows why it's come out like this on the printing, but hopefully you'll be able to see it if you print your worksheet off. So we got the histograms show the total times office workers spend on the phone. Now that's important, the total times office workers spend on the phone. On 2 days, 2nd of August, 2nd of September. Alright, part A. Calculate the number of office workers who spent a total of 60 minutes or less on the phone on the 2nd of August. So 60 minutes or less. So we're talking this histogram because it's 2nd of August. There's my cut-off point there, 60 minutes or less. Now, as we've spoke about on all these histogram questions, your frequency on a histogram is equal to your area of the bars. So if we can work out the area of each of the bars that are 60 or less, we've got our answer here. So let's start with this one, the 0 to 10. That's got a width of 10 and a height of 2. My area is going to be the base 10 times by the height 2. So that is going to be 20. I'm going to keep a note of this because I can't actually see that 20 there. That's got, this second bar goes from 10 to 20, that's a base of 10. These are all going to be bases of 10s. So it's 10 times 4, so that's going to be a 40. So let's add a 40 on for that one. 30 to 40, that's got a height, 30 to 40, that's got a height of 6. So that's going to be plus a 60. Where are we up to here? Sorry, that was 20 to 30. 30 to 40, this bar here's got a height of 10, so that's going to be 100. 40 to 50's got a height of 8, so that's going to be an 80. And finally, 50 to 60, I think, is another 100. So we're good to go there with that one. So that is just simply your area of your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. Add them together. Again, it's been a long morning for me here, so I'm using a calculator on this one. 20 plus 40 plus 60 plus 100 plus 80 plus 100, 400 we're going for there. So that is 400 office workers spent a total of 60 minutes or less on the phone. What's part B saying? Explain why it's not possible to use the histogram to calculate how many telephone calls were made. Well, this goes back to what this histogram's measuring. This histogram's measuring the time spent on the phone. No mention whatsoever of how many calls. Like you could spend 10 minutes on the phone and make 4 calls, or 10 minutes on the phone just on 1 call. So the answer to this one, where it says explain why it is not possible to use the histogram to calculate how many telephone calls, is the histogram only measures, my writing's getting worse every video here, time, not number of calls. Please write neater on yours. Alright, now Grant's involved here. Grant suggests it's not possible to calculate exactly, that's going to be important, how many office workers spent longer than 130 minutes on the telephone on the 2nd of September. Alright, well let's have a look here. Grant's saying you cannot work out how many people spent longer than 130 minutes. Now, we've said that area gives frequency, so why can't we just work out the area beyond 130, so just this little bit of this bar, and then add on that bit? Well, the problem is, we don't know. Whilst we know how many workers were between 120 and 140 minutes, we don't know how many were more than 130. We've just had to estimate here. We don't know the specific times for workers within this 120 to 140 minute group. It's like when you work out an estimate of the mean and you use midpoints. We don't know precise times within this group. So whilst we can say for definite how many workers were between 140 and 180, we can't say for definite how many were between 130 and 140. We can only estimate by halving the number between 120 and 140. So, Grant, as much as it pains me to say it, is correct. So, is Grant correct? Yes. And I'm going to put, we don't know exactly how many workers took between 130 and 140 minutes. So that's the problem. The 140 onwards, you're fine. but it's that bit there. We don't know exactly how many workers were between 130 and 140. All we can assume is it's halfway between 120 and 140. So just watch out for that one. And then the final bit here, use the graph paper below, if you can flip and see it, to redraw the 2nd of August histogram using the groups of the same width as those in the 2nd of September. I like this question. It's quite a sneaky one, this one, but it's good, this. So let's get our group sorted first. So we have here a 0 to 20 group. So I'm just going to, and I'll just be off camera here. All I'm doing is I'm keeping a track of these groups here. 0 to 20, we have a 20 to 40 group. We have a 40 to 60 group, we have a 60 to 80 group, an 80 to 110 group, an 80 to 100 group, we have a 100 to 120, we have a 120 to 140, and finally the sneaky one, we have a 140 all the way to 180. Okay, so there are groups. I'm just going to keep a track of the width of those groups. So I'm just going to put a little W for width. So I need a width of 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, and 40 to 180 is a width of 40. That's a sneaky bit at the end there. And then let's see how many I need in those groups. So I've got to redraw my 2nd of August one. So let's get my total frequencies from each of those groups. So I'm going to just put here on my thing, frequency. Put a little F for frequency. So in my 0 to 20 group, I said I had 20 people in that group there from part A. So I had 20 people in that group. In my 20 to 40, I think I had 40 people. Then it was 60, 100, 80, and then, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Be careful here. I'm obviously making a deliberate mistake here. Let me just subtly cross those out and pretend we didn't see that. From the now in the new 0 to 20 group, how many have I got? Well, in my 0 to 10 I had 20, and in my 10 to 20 I had 40. So I need in this group now, I need 60 people. That's a bit more like it. In my 0 to 10 I had 20, in my 10 to 20 I had 40, but in my new group, because I need it as wide as this group here, I've got them combined together, so I have 60 in them. In my 20 to 30 I had 60, and in my 30 to 40 I had, it's flipping pain this question, I had 100, so in total I think I had 160 in that group there. 40 to 60, again it'd help if I could see it, that is 80 up to 100, so that's going to be 180 in that group. In my 60 to 80, I have 120 and I have 80, so that's going to be 200 in that group. In my 80 to 100, I have 100 there and I have 80 there, so that's going to be 180. In my 100 to 120 group, so where am I up to here? 100 there, so that's 70, up to 120 and 60. That's going to be 130. In my 120, which is there 100, to 140, which is up there at 120, I have 220. And then finally, I need 4 groups in this last bit. I need my 140 up to 140 to 150, so that's 110. Remember that. Plus I have a 20 there, 130, plus a 10, 140, and I don't have anyone in that last group, so that's 140. Flipping, what a pain this question is. I'm only getting 3 marks for this. And then finally I need my height, which is my frequency density. Now frequency density equals the frequency divided by my width. So let's have a look at this. Let's get these done. So we've got frequency of 60 and a width of 20. I don't need a calculator for that. 60 divided by 20 is 3. 160 divided by 20 I think is 8. 180 divided by 20 is going to be 9. 200 divided by 20 is going to be 10. 180 divided by 20 I think is going to be 9. 130 divided by 20, maybe 6.5. 220 divided by 20 is 11, and 140 divided by 40 is the same as 70 divided by 20, which is going to be 3.5. Now that's quite good news because my frequency densities look like they're going to fit on my scale that's 0 to 12, and then I've just got to draw these on. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think I can be bothered drawing every single one on. Can I just draw a few just to get you started? 0 to 20 has a frequency density of 3, so bang him on there. 20 to 40 as a frequency density of 8. 20 to 40 as a frequency density of 8, and so on. And if I just do the last one, 140 to 180 as a frequency density of 3.5. So that's going to be halfway between me 3 and me 4. Something like that. 3.5. And you can fill the rest in there, because I've got flipping tons of these videos to do. Alright, see you next question.